News has been making the rounds that the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, Rabiu Kwankwanso of the New Nigeria People's Party, and Peter Obi of the Labour Party have begun to discuss the possibility of a merger. This is in a bid to set up a formidable party that can displace the ruling All Progressives Congress. It was gathered that the three political parties have been meeting and having successful discussions. The discussions, which were said to still be at the preliminary stages, had been hinged on two pillars. The opposition leaders were said to be hopeful that the tribunal would call for a rerun election, which would see them come together in a merger and challenge President Tinubu, who is the APC candidate. Joining us now to discuss plans by Atiku, Obi and Kwankwanso to form a merger towards dislodging the APC from power is Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale. Great to have you again on Newsday, Mr. Sobowale. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
So how likely, first of all, is it that the Election Petition Tribunal will call for a rerun? Let's start with that.
I don't want to comment on the case in court.
Okay.
So let's start clear of that.
Okay, so staying clear of that, what are your thoughts on this planned merger, between the Labour Party, PDP, and the NMPP?
It is, to me, an exercise in futility, and I will show you why. Look at the personalities and political experience of the three people involved. They were all in the same party before. Now, on the eve of the election, Obi bolted and formed Obedient. Kwankwanso left the APC and stood on his own with the Nigeria Party. So you have a lot of big egos going around. My sympathy is with Atiku. You get me? I don't see Atiku stepping down for anybody. They haven't gone so far to form a party in which he will not be the presidential candidate. I can't see that. Now, I don't see a party in which Obi, who will want to be vice presidential candidate, have gone this far. To Obi, I will quote Shakespeare for you, Julius Caesar. They say to Caesar, it is better to be first in a village than second in Rome. You get me? The same applies to Kwankwanso. Kwankwanso is a one state leader, but he wants to be president. You see, so let us, even if we want to speculate, let us speculate realistically and pragmatically. You see, Atiku has suffered more than any other politician in the PDP. So I don't see him going back now to go and bring back those who stabbed him in the back. You have an issue of trust, transparency, and loyalty. As far as Atiku is concerned, with these two guys, those virtues bolted out of the window on the eve of the election. Many people have gloated that PDP shot itself in the leg because it allowed Obi to go and it allowed, the other man went to another party. But and then, remember PDP? Okay, leave the issue of Atiku aside. PDP must find a way to resurrect itself. It has some strange, some governors who plotted against it during the last election. Then it has an estranged member, powerful former governor, who became a minister today. And he has not resigned, and he has stuck the hand of the party by going to court to restrain the party from expelling him until the case is resolved. So how does the PDP survive that? What I envisage is what I will call a realignment of forces. Somebody who used that before was Bola Ige, when he left Obasanjo's cabinet. Told me that I interviewed him and said there will be a realignment of forces, but did not live to see that because he was killed before that manifested. So I envisage a realignment of forces. And I will quote Tony Enahoro when he proposed Nigeria's independence in 1958. And this is the beginning of a chain of events, the end of which no man knows. That's my take on that.
Okay, so let me throw another quote out there.
Yes.
It says, if you can't beat them, join them.
Join them.
And it seems like this is what's happening because obviously, just like you've pointed out, PDP has its own major hurdles to cross and battles that they have lost in the past. Labour Party, same, Kwankwaso's party as well. So realistic, I mean, it just seems like it's the logical thing to do. But you were talking about some realistic, logistical ways to go about this. What are some more realistic ways that the three parties can put heads together, or even two parties, or just to form some kind of credible opposition to the APC, which is
you are
swallowing
assuming
them?
things are static. Get me now? The APC itself can suffer the fate of PDP on the day of the election if it does not take time. Now, you see, you look at the personalities involved, then you see that things have to move in a different direction. And you see, there's something in economics we say, all things being equal, ceteris paribus assumption. But you know, in real life, things are never really equal. So I don't see, Atiku has to get the PDP out of the quagmire of the betrayal and treachery of the former governors and that of Wike. They must find a way to disengage Wike from the party. And you know, Nigerian cases are in court, they go on interminably. So maybe if they hamstrung like that, you would think of a way of forming a new party. But if you are Obi too, Obi was a creation, like I said earlier, was a creation of the South. I mean, the what do you call it? This Christian, Muslim ticket. Huh? Because there was religious anger against it. And then young people, like somebody said, were for Obi. But there are many young politicians, even younger than him, who contested in this last election. If they too knew that the youths are that aggrieved, disenchanted, frustrated, that they will follow any other person, people will make youths the target. So you don't know what will happen out of that. I know in Nigeria we register parties interminably. I don't know how many political parties can resurface from this quagmire we are in now. So I keep my fingers crossed.
Arise News analyst Dayo, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.